Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm IKA Selviana. You can call me Vina. Now I will explanation about is summary public speaking. Speaking is an important method for communicating knowledge and expressing ideas. Being able to verbally communicate effectively to others, individuals, or to groups is essential in school, business, as well as your personal life. Menurut Webster's, there's new international dictionary, public speaking, the act of process of making speech in public, atau proses berbicara di hadapan umum. The art of science of effective oral communications with an audience, atau seni ilmu pengetahuan tentang komunikasi lisan yang efektif dengan pendengar. Dealing with nervousness. 1. A core speaking experience. Enrich your life experience with any training or speech class to gain some more knowledge. 2. Have a good preparations. 3. Think positively. What you think when you start thinking I'm not a great public speaker, you have to immediately transform such a talk into, well, no one is perfect anyway, at least I'll do my best and try it. 4. Use the power of visualizations. Visualizations is the best way to think positively about yourself. By mentally portraying yourself as a successful presenter, you will find an extra power to see yourself at your poise and self-assurance performs. 5. Know that much nervous is not visible. 6. Don't expect perfection. Some tips. Have enough sleep and rest before your big day. 2. As you are waiting your turn to deliver your speech, have some relaxation. Quickly stretch your legs to help you reduce your tensions. 3. Take some time to take a deep breath as you look at your audience before start to speak. Speak slowly and eventually increase your speaking speed when you have successfully controlled your performance. 4. Give an extra attention to your introductions. The first impression is important to get your audience attention, trust, and respect. 5. Manage a good eye contact with your audience. Remember that presentation is all about building a good communications. When you have done so, your way to gain themes public speaking is widely opened. 6. Prepare and use visual aids, since they will help you presentation so much. Not only can they make your presentation much more interesting and alive, but they can also draw your audience attention away from you and make you feel less conscious. Determining the specific purpose. Topic: the impact of using mobile phone. General purpose: to inform. Specific purpose: to inform my audience the effect of using mobile phone too much. Situational audience analysis. An audience analysis that focuses on situational factors such as the physical setting and the disposition disposition of the audience toward the subject, the speaker, and the occasions. Size, the larger the audience, the more formal your presentation must be. Audience size also influence launch selections, choice of audience appeals, and the use and types of visual aids. A. Organizing the body of speech. Introduction or beginning. Developing an impressive introductions help you open up your way to a successful presentations. Get the attentions and interest of your audience or attention-getting openers. Reveal the topic of your speech. Establish your credibility or goodwill. Preview the body of your speech. There are several organizational patterns you can follow to set it up. Logical order of your presentations, alphabetical order, cause effects, chronological, problem solutions, locations, relate subtopics, advanced disadvantage. Ending, signaling the conclusions, summarizing or concluding your presentations, providing memorable concluding remarks, and asking or offering questions to your audience. Okay, B. Using visual aids. Advantage of visual aids. Presentation is never complete and interesting without being supported by usual visual aids. And visual aids offer several great advantages to speakers. The first advantage is clarity. When you work on your set, pictures, charts, and graphs and the like, you actually do not only help yourself, but also your audience is keeping up with your elaborations. The visualization you have prepared makes your explanation more vivid and well pictured in your audience and mind. Moreover, we live in a visual age. The use of visual aids has been widely used in many aspects of life. Even little children now have been familiar with the use of several gadgets and computers. Okay, two kinds of visual aids. One, objects. Real objects and even living things can make your presentation more dramatic and inspiring. When you come to your informative and speaks or on the advantage of sunscreen, for example, you can bring the real sunscreen to the class. What can be more dramatic and interesting than bringing a real snake? When you talk about the different skins of snakes, in this case, of course, you have to make sure that you can really handle them very well during your presentation, so that you don't put your audience in danger. Two, models. Model in an object use storyboard to scales that represents another object in detail. Model is usually used to explain things that cannot be brought into the venue of your presentations. For example, in a persuasive presentation on the new design of an apartment, a mini model of the designed apartment will be in need to support your presentations. Photographs. Photographs can be a good alternative for your visual aids if you can manage it. The size of photographs is too small to be seen unless you can oversize the enlargements. And drawing. Such drawings as diagrams, sketches, and the like can be the simple visual as you can prepare. When you need to describe a particular things, the picture of which difficult to find, you can just draw it right away of the provided with whiteboard. Graphs and charts. Graph is visual aids used to show statistical trends and patterns, while chart is a visual aid that summarizes a large packet of information, usually in list form. Graph an easy your way in explaining your sophisticated statistical explanation. And slide and video tabs. Slide and video tabs are an effective choice if you really want to live your speech. When you want to pursue a fund sponsor because your orphanage under your management is badly is in need of fund to reward the boarding after the escort. You need to prepare slide of video tabs viewing the situation and condition of your orphanage. Computer generated graphics. Computer generated graphics are graphics, diagram, or chart that are created with to the help of a computer. Transparencies. And at this moment, transparencies can be regarded as the simplest visual aids. You can simply type your point and a page of paper and copy it on transparency. Multimedia presentations. Multimedia presentation is a speech that uses special computer software to combine several kinds of visual and or audio aids in same presentations. Guidelines from Guidelines for preparing and presentation visual aids. The use of visual aids need are a careful management. Visual aids will be effective if they can go along with your presentation. Unless you plan and prepare them well, they turn out into disaster. C. Using language and delivery. Using language, the importance of language. Delivery, what is good delivery? Methods of delivery, the speaker's voice, non-verbal communications, appreciating the impact of clothes and general appearance, practicing delivery, answering audience questions. And one, what is good delivery? The power of your speech comes on what you say and how you say it. These two factors are actually inseparable. However, your speech can turn out into a deeply boring one if you ignore an effective delivery. On the contrary, your speech seemingly look good, so the content is totally careless if your delivery can convince your audience. Method of delivery. Four basic methods of delivering as speak are applied in public speaking. One, reading from manuscripts. Two, reciting from memory. Three, speaking impromptu. And four, speaking extemporaneously. Reading from manuscript and note. A manuscript speech is a speech that is written out word for word and read to the audience. This speech must be spoken, and as it is written on the manuscript since every single word counts for public attention and will be analyzed by the press. by colleagues as well as by enemies. For example, they speak by a president, a pope, a minister, and so on. Reciting from memory. This speaks in done by reciting or memorizing. It takes so much talent to do so. That is why this method of delivery no longer customary. Sometimes, some types of short speech, such as award speech, congratulatory remarks, winning speech, farewell speech, and the like, still early on this practice start. Speaking impromptu. At any point of your life, you might have been exposed to deliver a speech without having any chance to prepare yourself. Speaking extemporaneously. In practice, extemporaneous is similar with impromptu, but of course they are different. An extemporaneous speech is a carefully prepared and rehearsed speech that is present from a note. This speech has been prepared well and even rehearsed. The speaker voice. The quality of your voice determines very much to the success of your speech. If by any chance you don't have a microphone to help you, you must be able to project your voice to the back. Make sure that every participant can hear you well, otherwise you will jeopardize your speech and you may lose your audience. And non-verbal communication. Non-verbal communications, good delivery is also influenced much by natural non-verbal communications aspect as experience, posture, gesture, eye contact, and facial experience, and other linguistic factor brings significant impact to presentations. And experiencing the impact of crowds and general experience. What kind of clothes should you wear? Essentially, you should wear clothes appropriate for your audience. This sounds like stating the obvious, but let's illustrate it with some example. If you are talking to an audience of sport people of sport and center managers, then wear a blazer feather rather than a dark suit for males and then dress up too smartly for females. For an audience of social or voluntary works, a blazer or a suit of harmony won't be down to earth because it will spirit you socially from the working life your audience. In brief, you must adapt the way you put your thoughts with the nature and spirit of your audience. Practicing delivery. You must be familiar with this famous saying, practice makes perfect. It is truly of any help to you if you put your best effort to practice and rehearse your presentation properly. Rehearsal is very important because you need a run to check timing and to see how the audio visual at work. Here are the steps you can to go. Step 1. Check your presentation online. Step 2. Talk you speak and time it. Step 3. Speak out your speak several times. Step 4. Now it's time for you to look at yourself and your audience. Step 5. In if everything has been okay with your speech preparations, it is nothing wrong if you try it out once again with patching or your real dress that you will wear. Answering audience questions. Answering your audience questions and real first-hand experience. However, you need not to worry about it since we will discuss how to handle the nitty-gritty and of audience feedback in these sections. Before you jump into the question answer sessions, you may need to decide beforehand to take questions during your presentation or to its presentation can be constructive since it indicates your audience has interest. However, it can be destructive if you cannot manage it. And here, if not careful, you can be drawn on and in on an irrelevant argumentation. Okay, uh, here and here are some points to bear in mind when answering questions. The question you can answer, the irrelevant questions, the personal attacks, the loud questions, the point on informations, and okay, and the point of information at any stage or on your presentation. You may encounter some corrections from your audience. It respond to this, nothing else you can do but to achieve the point approached by your attention and thank them. Okay, I think that's all for me. Let's more. I'm sorry and thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.